Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Today, I am playing with the beautiful Winter Rose press plate from Spellbinders. Winter Rose Backdrop. Just want to make sure I had that name right. The Winter Rose Backdrop BetterPress plate from Spellbinders. This is part of the Handmade Holiday add-on items for the Handmade Holiday Christmas Kit. It is one of the add-on items that are a la carte, and meaning you can purchase it on its own while supplies last. You have two options. You can get the plate by itself or the plate with its coordinating stencil. The stencil is not sold separately, so I just wanted to let you know that ahead of time. So we are going to actually foil this plate today and stencil it and create a card. I'm going to be using the Sending Joy sentiments with our design today. These, I believe, are from the Home for the Holidays collection, and we're just going to be mixing and matching. I thought this really pretty font went with the rose design really nicely, so I thought that would be a nice add-on. And then we're just going to use the oval from the cameo frames to set off the sentiment. So something really easy. Okay, our timer is ready, and we're going to cut a piece of this blush colored foil. And the reason I'm choosing blush foil today is because I had the idea that we might color our beautiful roses a corally blush color. So I thought, you know, I'm thinking Christmas roses don't have to always be pink or red. So I thought we would be a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my plates and we will get started. I have my Platinum 6 over here on the side. So I'm just going to put my foil shiny side down. And I'll pull this in place here so you can see what I'm doing. Put it shiny side down. I'm going to put my piece of paper over it. I'm going to cover it with both of my plates that come with my glimmer system. And I'm going to run this through my Platinum 6. One time is enough. I'm using Hammer Mill 100-pound paper. It's the Hammer Mill that has the gecko on the picture. If you're looking on Amazon to purchase some, it's very slick paper and it's perfect for glimmering. The only time I don't use it, look at that. The only time I do not use it is when I am having something that's really hard to foil, and I use Spellbinders specialty paper for those times. So there are our sentiments, which we will die cut out. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that plate, put it on my glass mat, and we will heat this one up real quick. While that heats up, I'm going to go ahead and cut my foil for the next piece. This is a full A2 panel. The plate is actually a little larger than A2, so that makes it a little bit easier to make sure you get your entire A2 background covered with your design. I'm going to go ahead and put my foil away, get my paper. The beauty about this die set too is it's a one and done, so we'll be able to tape that in place and get all of those sentiments all at once. Love that. Okay, our timer just said ready. So again, we will lay our foil shiny side to the foil plate. This is already cut to A2. So I'm going to lay that on the foil plate. Lay our plates. Usually I would undock that before I layered everything, just so there's no shifting when you actually undock your system before you start layering everything on. That's just a little quick tip. If we see any shifting in this foil reveal, that will be the reasoning, because I didn't unhook that first. Sometimes there's a little jolt there. Peel and reveal. Looks gorgeous. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Oh, I just love it. Now we're going to bring this to life even more with some stenciling in the next part of the video. Let me put everything away and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, got my desk set up for stenciling. Got the glimmered piece down on my sticky mat. It's the Altenew sticky mat, and that is going to help me line this up. And once I have this lined up exactly where I want it, I am going to just press down on my sticky mat, and this will all stay in place for me, so I don't have to worry about it coming undone. This sticky mat is going to hold this in place for me, and the paper's not going to move, and neither is my cardstock, because the sticky mat holds the cardstock to the sticky mat and the stencil also to the sticky mat. So everything is perfect. So I'm going to be using Pink Fresh Studio inks today, and I'm starting off with Coral Reef. I wanted something really soft for the roses. So let's just start soft and see where we go with this. Each of these roses just have this one stencil, so we don't have multi-layers on this one. Every item, be it a leaf, a berry, a rose, every item has one opening from the stencils. So if you want to blend and get differential in color, you're going to need to do that yourself, and it's completely up to you if you want to do that or not. And I don't know if I'm going to today or not. We're just going to see as we craft along. I've got some extra colors if I feel like I need it, but you don't always have to do it. You just need to do you, whatever makes you happy. So I'm just wanting to enjoy my craft along here with you and just play, because isn't that why we're all do this anyways? Just to play. So I love the color already. It's a really soft, subtle, peachy pink, and that's kind of what I was going for. So we always can come back and darken them up if we want to later, because you can always replace your stencil. We could darken up the edges, we could darken up the middle, we could do a little bit of anything we want to, because we are indeed the artist, right? Okay, so there's our first coat of Coral Reef. I think I'm happy with that right now. I think as we get the other colors, which are more saturated, we'll have a better feel if I want these roses to go darker or not. So I'm going to leave them light for right now and see how I like it later. So let's pull this layer off. This is layer number 1. There's 4 stencils with this set. Okay. Now right here, I was not quite lined up, so I'm just going to move that stencil over. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm going to go ahead and stencil in that line that I missed. Sometimes you can do it with just the ink that's left on your brush. Sometimes you can pick up a little ink and just add a little, just to make it not so noticeable. Just a way to fix your little boo-boo. No biggie. This is such a soft color that it's not really even noticeable, but I noticed it. So, and I'm okay if this bottom gets darker. There we go. So that's still there, but it's just not as visible to me. Let's see how much darker I made this rose. So I might come in and darken those a little bit. we'll see how I feel about it when we do the other layers. Okay, gotta be flexible, you know? This is our first greenery, and each of these greenery layers has 2 greeneries in it. This one has the rose leaves, the Stencil 2, has rose leaves and holly leaves. So you have to decide, do you want all of your roses and hollies to be the same color? Or do you want to mask stuff off so you can have them different colors? So masking would not be too terribly hard with this stencil, but it is foil. And tape and foil don't love each other. Let me see if I lightly put that right there. I just lightly did that. I think I might be able to get away with it. Let's just see. Let me take, I think I want my roses to be eucalyptus. This is eucalyptus. It's the medium of my 3 inks. And let me just see here. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I'm going to go darker in the edge and blend, or in the corner, and blend out to the tips and try to make it a little lighter on those tips if it's possible. Sometimes it won't be because they're super little. But it's okay to have some variation in colors, some darker, some lighter. Totally okay. All right, now let me just gently pull this up. I'm trying not to stick this down too much. See if I got any foil on that. Okay, so far so good. I am just literally just laying this down, like not even pushing, because I do not want that foil to get pulled up. So I'm being super careful, but I think we're okay. Okay, now these other leaves will be on the next stencil, and we'll change those up too. Okay, so we've got, did we get it? Yes, no foil lost in transition. So we've got holly, holly, holly. Okay, we got a little bit here that we missed, and here that we missed. Those are tiny, tiny openings. So let's see how it looks. Alrighty. Then we are going to go with the third stencil. Gosh, I love that color combo. So pretty. Okay, so this one is going to be Stencil 3. Because the stencil, or because the BetterPress plate is larger than the paper, you do have to line the stencil up because it goes off. So just take your time with it. There's no rush. You got all day. And it's really not difficult. It's not a hard stencil to line up. Okay, so we've got a roundish leaf here, here, and here. Then we've got this really narrow leaf here and here. Then we have the tops of these berries. Now, this one is the only one that's going to be difficult to do a different color, but I'm going to attempt it. So I think I'm going to grab a light brown because those berries are actually going to be this begonia, either one of these, begonia or mulberry, depending on how dark I go. And so I don't want it to be the same color. So I'm going to kind of do this and this and get a little creative here and just grab a light tan color. So let's see which one of these we want. We'll start with warm buff because it's the lightest, and I just don't want any huge color. Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna go and just put a little bit of color on these tops. Good deal. And we'll do these 3 up here. I think that'll look really pretty with the, is there any more? I think that's it. And I think that will look really pretty with this kind of color. All right, so that's warm buff. All right, now we'll finish our leaves. And I want this leaf a lighter color, so I'm going to go with Fresh Pear for it. And we will go ahead, clean this brush a little bit because I'm going lighter. Go ahead with Fresh Pear, and this is kind of a more lighter green, really pale. So I wanted some contrast with my leaves. This is kind of a roundish leaf, and I envisioned it more of kind of a filler leaf, and I thought that would be a pretty color for it. Okay, looks good. So now we just need the last color, which is Evergreen, and we'll go in and fill in these really narrow, real narrow greens right in here. And this will just give it some deep contrast in here, and then right here. I think that'll be good. Just give it some deep contrast. Okay. That was Evergreen. So my 3 greens was Fresh Pear, Eucalyptus, and Evergreen. Oh, what was down here? Almost forgot. Let me go ahead and cover this little guy if I can. Might have to use both pieces. Kind of got to get tricky here when you want different colors. Get finicky, right? Get our Fresh Pear here. Kind of come in there, and hopefully that'll get on there enough, and it'll be good. Try not to get it on the part we did first. There we go. That looks good. Okay, let's pull this back. Okay. One of the reasons I'm not lining these up too great is because of my perspective here. In other words, I'm not standing up and lining this up above it. I'm kind of coming in at an angle because of where my seat is compared to where I'm filming. So please forgive me for missing this just a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and fix my issue here because I want to make sure that's filled in. That one would have bugged me. Let's see how this one was. Yeah, that one was fine over there. Okay, yeah, I wanted the dark. So, then last but not least, oops. Last but not least, let's see. I wonder why these did not get hit. We will have to go back and look at that. Okay, now we've got these large berries and the little berries on the holly. So let me take my time a little more and try to pay more attention to my lines because I'm leaning over a little more now to make sure I kind of get them closer because I was missing them. And it's because I wasn't leaning over. I don't want to get my head under the camera. And that's the main reason I was missing those. And I don't want to make noise standing up and getting down, up and down either. So let's see if I do this a little better. Okay. I'm going to mask a little here as well because we've got to protect these berries, these, and these. We're going to do these large ones first, and this is where we're going to bring in the begonia and the mulberry. Let's start with the Begonia first because it's the lighter one. I like to go from light to dark to decide how dark I want to go. So I'm going to start here off the stencil, kind of come on and see how deep I want these berries. Because these are more of a pinkish, but I want them a little dark. I want them darker than my roses. But I don't know if I want them so dark as the mulberry. So let me see what the mulberry added to them looks like. We'll do just the bottoms of them and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay. I just want to take a dry, well, let me find a dry space. I was washing my desk a little while ago. A dry microfiber cloth, and I'm just going to rub this off so I don't have all that excess ink everywhere before I take my tape off. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to protect these guys. Okay, and we're going to protect these guys down here. Now we're going to come in with the candy apple, and we're going to give the berries to the holly some darker emphasis on color. So we're going to go in. This isn't quite red, but it's pretty darn close. It's not the darkest red I had, but it was like next to the brightest. So this is going to be definitely a pop. But with holly, that's what you get, you know? So, okay, there's our candy apple. Let's pull this up and reveal and see where we're at. See if I lined them up any better. There we go. So now, let me go backwards and see where that holly ran off to. So this is the holly stencil. There it is right there on the top. And on the left, I just forgot about it. I just forgot about it, guys. You probably were screaming at me all along. But that's okay. We can do it now. No time like the present. So on this one here, we won't need a mask. I think I can do that without a mask. Here, we need one there. We definitely need to protect these guys. And here, we probably should protect this guy. We are wanting our evergreen, I think, for this one. We want the darkest one. Okay. So let's start here at the bottom. And let's go towards the top. And you know, maybe we'll pull in some of the lighter green and come down like that. To kind of a two-tone, maybe. And then we'll come up from the bottom. Like the eucalyptus. Yeah, do the top like that. Like that. Kind of a mix of the two. Then I'm just going to put that right there. We'll do the darker one, which is evergreen here. And then we'll do the eucalyptus here on the ends. There we go. Let's see how we like it. It just makes them a tiny bit different than this darker one here next to it. But it kind of looks like they're growing, you know, together. Really like that. Now, do we want to go a little darker on the roses? That is the question. I do think they need a little definition. They kind of right now are kind of stark. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of coral berry or coral reef and see what that does first, and then we might go in with a little more passion fruit, or with some passion fruit. So let me take my time and line this up to make sure I've got it correctly, since I didn't have it correct the first time. And I know where that is now, so I can lean over and see where that was and make sure I get it right. Okay, looks good. Okay, so let me get my brush here with the coral reef, and I'm just going to start first by making one side just a little bit darker than the other. This is still the same color as I used last time. I'm just using more pressure. That's all I'm doing here at the base of where they all meet. They kind of are all kind of met there in the middle. So how about that's where we make it darker. Now remember, it was all kind of stark white almost. That looks much, much better. So let me go ahead and put all the inks away, and we will finish our card. Make your own sentiment background to coordinate with your paper. So like, I'm thinking something like this, sending joy. We could actually go with a darker color and see what that looks like to give us some options. And just show you how quick and easy this is. You can see which one we like better. The new inks are so blendable that you can just take this and just create your own designer paper with it. So it matches perfectly. And I love how easy these blender brushes do make that. So let's just see how we like this compared to that one. So this is the lighter and the darker. So let me just clean that up real quick. Okay, while that's drying back just for a second, I'm going to go ahead and put this on our card. So I'll put it about, where's our third one here? So I've got 3 of these so we can stack them and give some dimension to this card. So we're going to put it about right there. So I'll turn that over, and I'm just going to tape this back here using our best ever craft tape, because we're going to glue this down anyways. So this is just going to hold it in place until the glue comes to rescue us. Just a temporary fix, so everything lays down flat for the gluing process. See how we like that. Looks good. All right, so then that will be able to glue right on our A2 like so. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. So let me go ahead and get that glued down. So then we have Ascending Joy, and we have this darker one. Let's see what these other sentiments. That one is a little bit big, Season's Greetings. Let's see. I'm kind of liking the Sending Joy, to be honest with you. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'm still liking Sending Joy. I don't know why. This is such a joy to make. But light or dark, we will lay that here on our background and see which one we like better. So that is the lighter one. I just love having options. Oh, it's so pretty. And this is the darker one. That's a hard choice. I think I like the lighter one though. And when you're looking at these, see you got the peachy sentiment foil, just like the background. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the Sending Joy. because this was such a joy to make, and that speaks to me. So I'm going to go ahead, and instead of doing multiple layers on this sentiment, I'm going to do multiple layers on this entire die background, this layered piece. So let me see if I can get it straight. Oh, look at that. I just love that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and that you'll come back to see me super soon. All the links are down in the description. If you ever need any help picking and choosing, or you just have some crafty advice that you need, just send me a note. You can always reach out to me over on Facebook in my Heartfelt Card Making with Spellbinders and More Facebook group, or on Facebook itself. Feel free to message me anytime. Take care for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, my friends.